Hi, I'm DebDedrick, Certified High Performance Coach, and your expert guide to leading a happy life here with episode number 91, How to Use Silence to Create Internal Calm. Now, it's easy for me because where I live, I can just step outside and it's quiet. But for those of you that live in the city, in the big cities where there's a lot of noise, it's a lot harder to use silence to create internal calm because there is no silence. There's very little silence in the big city, unless maybe you go in a closet and shut the door and put some headphones on. But from what my experience, growing up in the big city, I have found it's hard in the big city. So use today's tip to maybe think of other ways or other places where you can go and get some quiet. Because my first name for this title was Make Time to Be Quiet. But I thought, probably not the best titles, for you to get quiet, to get that internal calm. There's a process. So let's get into tips today where you can begin to see the why. How is silence going to help you create internal calm? And how are you going to get silent? So if you feel angst and overwhelmed and you always gotta go, that sense of anxiousness, the best way to combat that is to learn to go quiet. And I deal with a lot of people who never have any quiet. They wake up and the first thing they do in the morning is to turn on the TV or look at their cell phone or listen to a podcast. There's absolutely no silence there. And from there, they have noise constantly from, in the car, at work, driving home, on the TV in the house, and there's absolutely no quiet. And so since there's no quiet, it's hard to become aware of that internal voice inside of you that will help you create that internal calm. So learning to create some space in your day to turn off all noise and to become conscious of it being quiet and listen to the quiet goes a long way to kind of calming down your mind and getting centered and relaxing a little bit and building up that inner self and paying attention to those thoughts that are going round and round and maybe pressing the delete key if they aren't serving you. Using the silence to get to know yourself again, learning silence to develop that mental clarity of who am I, what's important to me, what do I really want to do, thinking about things that are important to you and not filling up that space, that white space in your mind with constant noise and distraction, so you never have the ability to really get to know yourself and to quietly think things through in a very practical, step-by-step manner instead of haphazardly doing it here and haphazardly doing it there. Learning to use daily silence to build a foundation, to develop the clarity of who you are, but also learning that silence to declutter your mind and calm your mind down. Think about your mind as like the smooth ocean. And if you can learn to just relax into that quiet moment and just take your mind and just start to see it as like a calm, smooth ocean, that will go a long way to creating an internal calm for you. It takes the silence for you to get to know yourself and to really be present in this present moment where you are, and to develop the long-lasting success, to develop the long-lasting success that you need to have that internal calm takes time, getting to know yourself. Shh. Sorry about that. Teddy's thinking he's going to do some barking, but there's nothing more powerful than silence and getting to know yourself that will work to help you create internal calm. And getting outside with no TV, no cell phone, and walking around. Now, this is not as easy if you live in the big city, but you can still do it. It helps you learn to, I mean, especially if you can walk around the big city and be very, very calm, even with all that noise going around you, and just staying right in those moments and not even allowing your mind to go elsewhere, like some of my other videos have talked about, but using those moments to help you create internal calm. You know, if you can do that out in the city, in the noise, and develop the ability to have silence, even in those situations, you will be able to master being alone and being in any situation with calmness, because you're learning, practicing self-discipline and control over yourself and your mind, and learning to discipline your mind and control the way your mind works, and using silence to do this, to develop that muscle of self-discipline over your thoughts, will go a long way to creating the internal calm. So going back over, making time to be quiet and using silence to create internal calm, learning silence to eliminate distractions and get centered and get calm, and eliminate all those negative voices that go on, flushing your cache. You know how you clean your computer and you clear the cache, you clear the history. Same way with your mind. Your mind's just like a hard drive. Your mind needs to be decluttered. Taking those moments of silence to get clarity of who you are, what's important to you, what matters to you, developing that inner confidence in yourself and your ability to get through life. If getting outside and walking around and using the outside to create control over your thoughts, and using that moment, they call that a meditating walk around, when you are doing a walk around meditation outside, and that's a lot more difficult than laying in your bed or sitting quietly in a dark room, and creating silence and focusing on using silence to look at your mind like an ocean, and look at your mind and start to see your mind really calm, like a surface of an ocean, and eliminating all those thoughts that keep you riled up, all those things that take you out of the present moment. Learning to control that. All those things that I've listed above will help you learn to create internal calm that we all need to create happy lives. It's my mission as your certified high performance coach to give you tools, tips, and strategies, ideas, thoughts, and daily practices that you can use to create a happy life, to create internal calmness, so you can live into becoming the best version of yourself, so you too can create a happy life. So until my next tip, go out in the world and be a positive role model and influencer for good, and I will see you on the next tip. Thanks for joining.